So how you doing, Mike?
Oh, doing all right.
Doing all
Doing all
right?
right. I'm still poor, but I'm back.
Yeah.
So,
I just had to take a day off of work to get you here.
well, you did it because I'm cute.
Yeah. And because I didn't want to work 11 days in a row.
Fine. Find an excuse.
Hand me that lighter. You
There
keep
you
stealing
go.
my lighter, man.
Well, maybe if you didn't make me smoke through your peer pressure.
You asked for it.
Ask for one.
And you like are hogging the ashtray. You
It's mine.
just got ash onto your head.
That's your dick.
I know, ash. So where you been up to?
Oh, being like super bored, not being able to pay the bills, so running around doing side jobs.
Doing some Uber?
No, fuck. I don't want people in my car. They're
What's
smelly.
Oh no, you're doing the Uber Eats or
No,
whatever.
DoorDash.
DoorDash, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want them in my car. I'll take them food all day, but
Yeah.
for last thing I need is like to pay $16,000 for a car, and then have some drunk asshole get in and throw up all over my nice interior,
Yeah, that's true.
and then I'd have to clean up the murder scene.
Did you hear Musk talking about the we knocked that bottle off the table. Um Talking about whenever the what's it called? The autopilot thing or whatever. Whenever uh the self-driving, whenever it gets good enough, basically you could buy a Tesla and then just have it running as a taxi.
Dude,
And
sold.
yeah,
Great investment.
and they were talking about the fact that you could make money on it when you're not using it. Like you go to work, and then you just send your car off to go to work too while you're there. Your car makes money. It comes back, picks you up for work. You go home. If you ain't got shit to do, you can send it back out, or you can say, "Nah, I'm gonna keep it home for the night. I got plans later."
Shit, I would literally buy a Tesla as the second car and just constantly have it working,
Yeah.
generating income nonstop.
But the thing that I thought was funny about it though was he's like, yeah, you could get like a fleet of them, like 10 of them, and be a great way to generate extra income. I'm like, I don't know the average person that can go get loans for 10 Teslas.
Well, no. It's just like any other kind of business. You wouldn't like just buy 10 Teslas
I know.
as a startup. You buy one Tesla, and then you generate enough income to make enough of a down payment on a second Tesla. And then those two Teslas would work to generate another down payment while paying themselves off to buy two more Teslas.
Well, you'd probably do a third and then a fourth, and you wouldn't necessarily just double down each time.
Fuck it. If you're just reinvesting into your business.
Well, the reality is you just do it in a shorter amount of time. Why would you wait a year to double down when you could start to double down 6 months?
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is you could easily build up the fleet by utilizing like
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's just
because you've already got another means of income anyway to support yourself.
supposedly. if you're able to get the loan in the first place, yeah.
In most occasions. What's a Tesla run these days like?
40 grand for the Model 3.
I mean, so you could theoretically maybe put down like what? With good credit, $1,000.
I don't know how much you have to put down, but I think they say it's like a $500 a month payment plus insurance.
Well, it depends on what you put down, your credit score, and then your insurance's driving record, yada yada. You're definitely gonna want to have full coverage on it, so you're looking at like
Yeah.
probably at least a $600 payment every month.
Yeah.
With like okay credit.
Yeah. But I was also sitting there thinking about that, not like you were just said, you don't want some drunk asshole to puke in your car. It's like, what if you send your car to go work for you, and the first person is just like some crazy person and takes a shit in your car, and you got your car driving around all day trying to pick people up, and like, no, I'm not getting in that fucking thing. But you're at work, so it's not like you can stop and clean it out. It's like your job would have to be, you'd be the detailer for these cars. Like, you'd have to quit your job to maintain the fucking car and make sure like it stayed charged and all that. You get the asshole in there that's like, I want to a trip to California. It's like, different car, dude. Get out of my fucking car. You're having to call a different Tesla to take you home because yours left the fucking
Well,
state.
then Elon Musk would just have to come out with an app.
I'm willing to bet that you could probably set parameters on it.
Yeah, like come out with an app, and the whole point of the app is like
you can't go
put it
further
in the
than
Tesla, and so basically like what it'll do is it makes you sign like a warranty or some shit for like any damages done to the car while you're utilizing it, and then on top of that, it also has like parameters of based upon like battery charge and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the worst you'd have to do is like you'd have to have like stations open that are like full service stations for these Tesla taxis where like they pull in.
That you could start a business doing that.
Yeah, like seriously, and then like they come in
Just
and then like
just
you
have
just charge them.
Yeah, have
and
the
sit
supercharger
around.
set up and have detailers ready to go.
Like do an engine check on it, whatnot, every now and then.
Well, I'm pretty sure the car does that itself.
Well,
it's not a gas engine. You're not checking the oil.
there's still maintenance.
I know there's maintenance to be done, but it's not something like that's going to be done in 10 minutes.
I don't know much about electric.
You'd have to like take shit apart to even see the motor.
Yeah, I don't know much about electric engines. Couldn't there be oil in it? It would still need lubrication, wouldn't it?
It might have grease, but it's not going to have oil. Does your alternator have oil?
Still learning, okay?
Yeah.
I deal with gas engines all the time.
I know. And we got a long while before it like really transitions over.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it ever will actually transition over. To be honest.
It will. Mostly just because it's like China and shit. They're pushing that shit so hard. I think they put like a 3-year and like 100% has to be electric.
China is a little bit different because
I know, but what I'm saying though is like
their population has demanded that their cities be built for that kind of
it's not even the population. It's a dictatorship over there.
Well, that too, but like their cities are built for like the massive population that they have.
Yeah.
Just like Japan, they have to build up with everything.
Yeah.
Because building out makes no sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything's in such close parameters that those electric cars would work well. Plus, they're trying to be more green.
Yeah.
So that way,
it's a smog issue.
Yeah.
Even though they take away the fact of a lot of smog comes from like the street vendors and restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, but in America, our cities aren't nearly as compact as that.
There's a few.
There's a few, but it's like major metropolitans like New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, ish. But you don't have like Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Where like you got like 7 people in like a shack and like apartments that go like 100 damn stories up in the air. You know, here in Kansas City, it's a huge metropolitan that's spread out, and electrical cars just would not be as practical as like a combustion engine.
Oh yeah, they would.
I don't think like.
In what way wouldn't they be?
Long travel if you're going from like for me the trip from what's their charge rated to like how many miles?
It's like 250, 300 miles.
Yeah, like I'd be charging that shit every day because I drive well over that just between going to work.
You drive 6 hours a day?
Home. I can.
Well, 5 hours a day.
I have before.
Yeah.
It's just like.
But that's also the thing is that they're designed to do that. They're designed to come home and be plugged in, and then you go to bed.
Stay home that long. I don't have and then on top of that, you know how many people would forget to charge their car at night and lose their job?
No, because they'd do it once or twice, and then they'd remember pretty damn well.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think if you came home and could you imagine if you just decided not to put gas in your car?
Look, you're like,
oh, I forgot to put gas in it, and I died on the side of the road. It happens all the time, but typically when it happens, it doesn't. It's not a repeat as long as finances are.
I have never once in my life met somebody who forgot to put gas in their car as far as oh, yeah, I knew
Well, that's exactly what you're talking about.
But like, I know for a fact that a lot of people will go home, be tired as shit, and like not plug their phone in. But you need your phone in your daily life now. It's kind of a necessity. Telling time, setting alarms.
Not if they have an alarm clock.
Most people live off their phone nowadays.
Well, that's the thing is like if it dies in the middle of the night, and you, as long as you have an alarm clock set, boo fucking who, plug it in when you wake up. Get a 10% charge on it. You take it to your car, plug it in again. It's not like you're not gonna fucking.
If you didn't plug your fucking car in, too, then what are you gonna do?
That's what. No, that's what I'm saying though. That it would be a different mindset on that because.
Like, I think for a while until people got used to the whole electrical cars thing, it would be kind of. I think it would be a very common thing.
It probably would, but like I said, it would happen.
Like at least with like your car will be like, dang, you need gas. And you're like, oh shit, I better get gas before I go.
Oh, that thing fucking does it too. It tells you how much range you have on it. And so if you wake up and you know you have 100 miles to drive the next day and you got 50, you better remember to plug that fucking thing in.
And then you better hope that your house has a plug-in for it.
Well, you can technically do it off of a 110, but it takes forever. So most of them have the 220s installed.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how America accepts that kind of transition change. Because let's face it, every time America tries to change anything, we all lose our minds for at least a 10-year period.
I think it's lapping quicker than that now.
Maybe.
I think we got Moore's law going for
I think we're still,
for our adjustment period.
I still think ever since the year 2000 we've just kind of lost.
How long did it take you to? It didn't take you a decade to get used to a smartphone versus a flip phone. It didn't take you a decade.
We still have people that are getting used to smartphones over flip phones.
Yeah, my mom's one of them. She doesn't have a smartphone, but at the same time, she knows completely how to use one.
I don't think that we've been on the right mindset since the year 2000. It's just been a continuing, something else fucked up, and then we've just been like,
Yeah. I was going to say, but how long did it take to transition from a house phone to a flip phone or Nokia or whatever? Didn't really take too much time at all.
It's just one of those things, we've had the combustion engine for over.
And you're also acting like it would happen overnight, when in reality it would take like 30 years.
Yeah.
on the best case scenario, it would take 30 years.
And even then, I think it'll still be kind of weird for most people. We've had the combustion engine. Shit.
I could understand it being weird for my grandpa, but like me or you, if you were like, oh, I can't do this. It's like, grow the fuck up. What the hell are you talking about?
Fuck no. I go to hit the gas and my engine goes, I'm going to be like,
oh, no, you haven't seen the Teslas?
I haven't heard them.
Oh, but you feel them.
Do you?
Yeah. It's faster than a fucking gas by a long shot.
Really?
Yes. They said whenever you put it in the little ludicrous mode or whatever and hit on the gas, it's like taking off in a roller coaster.
Fucking hell.
Because there's no lag. There's no shifting. There's no nothing. It's just go. It's pure torque.
That takes a lot of fun out of driving.
It adds a whole new element to driving.
I know, but I love shifting.
Yeah. You don't have a fucking manual now.
I do. It's an automatic manual.
That's not a fucking manual.
I can drive a stick shift too.
I was gonna say paddle shift or knock shift or whatever. It's not.
It drives like it.
Yeah.
On the way here, before I hit that rain, I actually had some dick that fucking cut me off, so I jumped in the other lane and double shifted down and fucking went and then shifted up.
Well, that's the thing I love whenever people sit there and talk about, they're like, oh, millennials don't know how to shift. It's like, I drive a 13 speed. I would give you $100. Not anyone fucking watching this. Fuck all you guys. But to the people that are like, oh, you don't have to shift. I'd be like, I'll give you $100 if you can get it into sixth. With no instruction. Like, give me your phone. Go.
Man, most people that know how to drive like a fucking man.
Or even better. Or even better, like they figure out 6th, I'll be like, all right, I got another 100 for you. Figure out 7th.
I can do like a fucking 5-speed or a 6-speed.
Yeah.
But you start getting like all those fucking trucks.
And there's fucking, I've seen semis that had like 3 different shifters. I'm like, fuck all that.
Yeah, and like dudes that
Like where the
drive-
dude's like literally 2-handing that shit to shift. I'm like,
and like
grab the wheel, man.
it's like no problem either.
Mhm.
It's just like second nature to him, and it's just like, dude, you've been doing this for way too long.
Yeah. They have the steering wheel set to where like they raise their leg up a little bit to hold the wheel and fucking reach over and just go to town. But it's just like, dude, that's unnecessary.
And I'm just gonna get this out there. It's hot as ball sack in your fucking house tonight.
Not right now. It's cooled off like 5 degrees since you got in here.
Doesn't feel it.
I feel it.
I'm sweating like fucking big.
I can literally see no sweat on
It's
you.
all there. Under the clothes.
I was gonna say,
I feel my fucking shorts sticking to me and my fucking shirt sticking.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm sweating because I took a shower, put on my bandana, and I just took it off. So now my hair's still a little damp, and it's like touching my head. I'm like, am I sweating? No, that's just water.
No, like I sweat under my clothes. Where all my sweat comes out.
Well, that I,
It's like fucking weird.
dude. Okay, you remember how I used to sweat and I'd have a diamond in my chest,
Yeah.
and people thought I shaved a diamond into my chest. I'm like, no, the hair just doesn't grow as thick right there, and since the shirt sits off because off my chest a little bit, I was like, there's not sweat right there, so it makes a diamond. And I was cutting the grass last week, and I looked down, and it was a circle. I was like, where'd my diamond go? I want my diamond back.
You have a diamond in your chest.
I'll pass. I'd start shaving some weird shit in my chest.
Just shave a dick on your chest.
I would not. I would shave like the Batman symbol, or even better. I get like a real like. I just go with like tweezers and like tweeze out like an arc reactor.
Shave a pair of tits on your chest.
I don't know. I think those are A cup. That was actually something my cousin told me once. Because like most dudes, when they get big, they get like fucking like saggy. Like it's a whole nother fucking like shelf right here. And I don't wear a shirt around the house usually. And which I came down earlier and Vern had the girl over, and I was like, oh shit, someone's here. Oh, hey, a shirt. And so I threw the shirt on, but like I was just walking around the house in a pair of shorts, and that was it.
Lucky she didn't catch you in extra comfort mode. You were walking through naked.
Yeah. Well, I knew Vern and Tammy were here, so
I feel like sometimes that wouldn't stop you though.
it hasn't before. Like if I need to go from my room to like the bathroom, I've just walked out of my room butt naked into the bathroom. But it's like for the people, it's like literally my door's here and then the bathroom door's there. It's not like I'm like walking through the house. I'm like walking out of a door into another door. But I've actually done that when the house was empty, went and took a bath, and then of course now I get a message. I swear to God, I thought I put that on mute.
Fucking savage.
Yeah. Actually, I probably need to check. But anyways, I took a bath and I kind of fell asleep in the tub. It's nothing. And I woke up and like Tammy was home and I was like, ah shit. I was like, well, we're going for it, and I just walked out. And I remember one time I was walking through the house in my underwear or something like that, and I walked upstairs and she like walked up behind me, and she's like, oh my God, like, because she saw me. I was like, it's nothing you ain't never seen before. And I just walked in my room, and she just stopped and she's like, well, yeah, that's actually accurate. Like, I've seen people in their underwear before.
Man, let me tell you. Y'all, at my house would throw y'all off. We have a very... I pay half of the rent. If I want to be naked in the house, I'm going to be naked in the house.
Well,
No lie. Sorry. But I told my roommate's boyfriend, I was like, you stay the night, and like, you were up at 3 in the morning. You come for a glass of water, and I'm in there getting a midnight snack. You might see a ball sack because I don't sleep with clothes on, and I'm not putting any on to get my snack.
Well, it depends on what I'm getting up for. Most of the time, if I wake up and like, if it's like, oh, I'm hungry, I just go back to sleep. In all honesty, I do. But
I do not because I get that like hunger that makes you feel like you're about to throw up.
I do have to say this real quick. As I noted in the story time, I'm starting to do my little meal preps again, and it was kind of funny because Mike came over. Was it last Friday?
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes, just popped in, popped out. But he was like, "What?"
My new phone.
But while he was here, he was like, "Hey, do you have any snacks?" And I opened up the fridge. I was like, "You want some cucumbers? Because that's what I got."
The only thing cucumbers are good for are scared cats.
They're tasty.
They turn into evil pickles.
They're delicious. Both of those are pickles. Or both of those are delicious, rather. Both of those are pickles.
Both of those have the potential of pickles.
Guys, at this point, I've been awake for 28 hours. Don't judge me. Okay, go ahead and judge me. I don't give a fuck.
Judge them real hard.
Real good right now.
No, can't stand either one of them, really. I'm not a vegetable kind of guy,
Yeah.
and pickles are disgusting.
That chicken looked good, though, didn't it?
Bro, if that wasn't for, like, your health,
Yeah.
I would have smashed that shit.
Yeah. I got 2 more packages that I need to cook tomorrow.
Cook me some chicken.
I'll probably have some left over.
Man, I'm gonna have to have you over when she does it, but my roommate's getting ready to make her stuffed chicken.
Uh-huh.
And let me tell you, this shit is so fire that that's the reason I'm living in her basement right now.
You know what I should do? I should go over to your new place and make some of my colon cleanse chicken. How many bathrooms y'all got?
3.
Good.
But we have plumbing issues, so please don't.
I still remember that I made that one day off of just fucking with shit. And I ran out of I was like frying chicken and I ran out of flour. And I had like red pepper in the fucking recipe. And so I was looking, I was like, what can I replace the flour with? Like, what do I have enough of? And I was like, well, I have a fuck ton of red pepper. And so I replaced the flour with red pepper and fried it up. And the thing was, like, because it was like marinating in the oil, because I was making multiple batches, it like got hotter and hotter and hotter. But the thing was, it tasted so fucking good. But your system was like, get this the fuck out of me now.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I've eaten some pretty righteous shit when it comes to spice and like things that should just normally like destroy an asshole of an individual.
Oh, yeah.
And I survived them. So I think I'm ready to take on that challenge, Aaron.
Well, I told you about the fact that I told Nick, after I discovered what it did to you, I told Nick, I said, hey, this is going to cause you issues. I was like, be within 10 feet of a restroom when you eat this. Not even like, oh, there's a restroom. No, be within 10 feet of the fucking restroom. And like, be ready to drop trowel. Like, don't have a belt on. Don't have...
You know what? Come pre-unbuttoned, actually.
Yeah. And he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. And he was in my dad's basement, which there was like a restroom 10 feet away from
Before you
there.
finish this story, I just want to state, and I apologize, Nick, but he is not a smart man.
No. And this the story that I'm telling will illustrate that.
We love Nick to pieces. We really do. But out of all of us, he's the retarded friend.
I wouldn't go that far. But
Aaron,
I wouldn't.
then who do we got left?
I don't know that I know anyone that I would register as the retarded friend.
I'm saying it, Nick. He's done some pretty dumb shit.
Dumb shit, yes. But like to the point where you just sit there and go, like, there's a difference between you're an idiot and like, bro, like, what the fuck is wrong with your brain?
We've had that moment too, though. No, because what he did to the fucking car on its
Okay,
own.
hold on. We'll tell that story next. I want to finish this story. Okay, so I told him what it did. he started eating it because it's this marinated fried chicken, and then just cavatappi noodles, the chicken, the mozzarella cheese, microwave it to like melt the cheese down, and that's it. And so he's eating it, and he's like, dude, this shit's like really fucking good. And he's like, he gets about halfway done, and he goes, and just darts to the bathroom. And like, he comes out like 20 minutes later. He's like, bro, he's like, I thought you were fucking joking, like how serious that was. I said, no. I said, dude, you made a mistake though. And he's like, what? I was like, you should have taken it with you. I was like, you still got half a bowl there to eat.
Unfortunately, I wasn't here because I'd have totally been like, pass that shit over here.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah. Well, that was like everyone talks about like Taco Bell, like, you know, oh, it gives you the shits. I've never once had the shits from eating Taco Bell.
No. Like, unless like I wasn't feeling good and ate Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like I had to have a predisposition with my stomach.
Yeah.
To like have the shits with Taco Bell. Like,
it wasn't one of those you had the shits because of Taco Bell. You had the shits and had Taco Bell.
And it just made it worse.
Yeah. All right, so the story about Nick, I guess that's what we're doing for this hour, is talking about Nick.
Sorry, Nick. I dragged you into this, but you deserve it.
Nick at the time had this like really big bushy beard. Like, it actually was a really good beard. And he's sitting there fucking with a lighter, and someone says, hey, dude, like, you're holding that too close to your beard. Like, you might singe a couple hairs. Like, just tell him to, like, look out. He's like, oh, it's not going to do anything, and clicks it. And just, we watch his head engulf in flame. Because I guess he had, like, oil or something. It might have just been, like, body oil. I don't know. But something in there, like, just ignited that motherfucker. And we just watched his head catch on fire. And it was just one of those, like, whenever someone's like, nothing's going to happen, and you watch what you just warned them about.
Tell him about him trying to fix the car.
Granted, it was much worse than any of us anticipated. We thought he was going to burn, like, a hole in his beard, like, where you, like, melt the hair. No. Fucking, like, pouring gasoline out on the ground and lighting it and watching it go whoosh. That's what happened to his fucking head.
Jesus. God damn it, dude.
Yeah, fucking glorious.
No.
I'm calling glorious.
The one that still gets me to this day is him trying to fix that car you gave him.
Oh, yeah, whenever I was like, hey, it's got a minor issue with this. And I was like, you just have to fix, like, I think it was like, replace a brake caliper. And he's like, well.
No, it was the exhaust.
No, it was, he said, well, the exhaust is disconnected right here. I said, it's okay. Well, like, it's up, it goes up over the fucking rear axle. I was like, so if you want to get under there, have at it. He removed the entire exhaust system and then started the car and fucked something else up. And then yelled at me for giving him a shitty car. I was like, well, it fucking worked when I gave it to you.
It wasn't a bad car either. It was pretty nice.
It was beat up on the outside, but...
Yeah, it was nice on the inside.
Yeah, I was going to say, it ran pretty good, and it was pretty clean on the inside. It wasn't...
That was your old car that you were driving to FedEx every day.
Yeah.
I drove that sucker. That sucker was touchy as fuck.
At first, yeah. I redid the entire front end. So, yeah, like, I got rid of all that.
I remember driving it from the gas pump just to park it. It was like,
That's what you were talking about. No, when I first got it, like, it had a steering assist on it. So, like, basically, like, the faster you go, the tighter the steering gets. Or, like, you know, the harder it is to, like, maneuver or to, like, turn or whatever. And so it had that on it. And so, but, like, what would happen is you'd speed up and then, like, it would shift and, like, so, like, it'd have a slight pull to the right. And then after you sped up to a certain point, it would shift to a slight pull to the left. So if you weren't paying attention, you'd, like, jerk into the other lane.
Jesus.
Yeah, because you're sitting there holding the wheel, you know, like this. You're holding it slightly to the left to compensate for the link going to the right. and then it shifts to the right. And so now you're basically just going that way. And so, yeah, if you weren't paying attention, it was sketchy. And I was like, because I never had an issue with that like that before. And then I realized, oh, it's not because one or two things bad. Everything's bad. And so I had to, yeah, I had to take all that apart and replace it. But or the fact that I knocked a wheel off of it because I changed something and forgot that I put the emergency brake on and drove with it, and it like ended up vibrating the fucking lug nuts off somehow. Yeah. I didn't realize it until after I got it back home and was like, went to fix it. And, you know, when you jack it up, I went to put the emergency brake and realized, oh, it's already fucking on. I'm a fucking moron. Yeah. Lesson learned.
Yeah, lesson was learned, and you lost an emergency brake.
Nope.
Oh, it still worked after
Yeah.
that? Jesus.
It just, and the wheel turned. It just, like, it wasn't an insanely strong one, but if you were parked on a hill, it kept it there.
You have it all the way cranked?
Probably not.
That's about the only, because, like, mine, like, if you, like, get it, like, if you don't get it all the way clicked back,
Mhm.
and you push on the gas, it'll start going, and it'll just roll, like, really slow. Like, I'd probably click it back, like, 2/3 of the way.
Yeah.
And do a burnout.
Yeah.
Like, just hammer the gas, and then, like, fucking downshift, start my second gear and hammer the gas, and then downshift on it, and I guarantee
I told you about the time I burned out in the customer's car at Jiffy Lube, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
You
hell,
did
that
on Storytime.
did it. Oh, that one didn't get published though because the video fucked.
Shit. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which I
we
guess.
had a really good video for you guys.
Yeah, that was actually the last time Mike was here. It was like an hour and a half long, and like
I think we made it to 2.
40. No, it was an hour and a half because I fucked with it for a long time, and it was like 40 or 50 minutes of it was completely unusable.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like, oh, I have to edit here and there. It's like, no, like at one point it froze frame for 20 minutes. It wasn't even just like jumping, it was frozen. And the part that pissed me off is because we were sitting there, like right now I'm watching the audio levels to make sure that this is all going smooth. I sat there and watched it, and there was no issue on the screen. But then when I went to the editor, all sorts of fucking issues. Like first it was, it unsynced itself, and then the video was running like at 0.9 speed versus the audio running at 1.0. And so like I went to try to tweak that, and then that messed up something else, and so I chunked it. It just turned into a fuck this shit, I'm done. And then I started the Storytime videos individually.
Now I'm back.
Yeah. So.
Hopefully on a more timely schedule.
Yeah. And hopefully my boss stops trying to get me to work Saturday nights.
No, you're my friend on Saturdays. He can't have you.
Well, there for a while it wasn't an issue because, well, you weren't coming out.
I don't care. You're still my friend on Saturdays. And if I'm not coming out, you can just come to my house now. We'll do it in my basement.
Yeah. And I had told you before, too, like, if, like, on Monday or Tuesday, depending on how the run's set up, it's like I'll work an 18-hour day, you know, working my job and then coming and doing this. That doesn't bug me because, like I said, you know, I'm on hour 26, 27, 28, whatever we're doing now.
Story. I'm off for like the next 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah? Okay. You can tell me about that after we end this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something you want to be broadcasting.
Nope.
I'm just going off the expression of your face right now.
Don't worry, Amazon. Right now we're recording from Tennessee.
Okay. Well, that is where your girlfriend's at. Yeah. And you were just talking to her.
Yeah.
Where'd she go?
I don't know. Probably sleep.
Yeah. I need to find a place to do this, like to where the outside disturbances aren't
I mean, we could start like since you got the carrying case, we can start doing it in the basement.
Yeah.
I mean, because I got like pretty much my own. And I've
Okay.
got 2 couches,
Okay.
so we could like totally set up, put the mics on the table in the middle.
Yeah. I'll come over and look at it here at some point.
Yeah, you can be my roommate.
That is one thing. I'm sure anyone who's watched this has noticed me like stop in the middle of some of my videos and just like sit there for a minute and like complete silence. And it's because like for whatever reason, whenever I'm recording, Tammy decides that's the perfect time to start screaming bloody murder. And she won't know that I'm recording. But like I've never once heard her scream bloody murder. But then I come over here, I hit record, I'll be 5 or 10 minutes into something, and all of a sudden I'll just hear it. I'm like, what the hell happened and why?
Just like here, no again.
Mm-hmm. She's done it like 3 times now. Out of 8 videos.
I'm getting old
Are you? Are you tired?
already.
Really?
Well, I've just got back to working like full weeks because I'd come off medical leave.
Yeah.
So I wasn't used to working.
So hold on. He was on medical leave, but still didn't have time.
No.
Hold on a second. I gotta read something real quick.
Has got to work.
What the fuck?
What's it saying?
Stop on max.
What time was it?
I don't